Yo, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Booty Boy Wrestling fan interview. Today I'm with the current 0-1 Northeast USA World Heavyweight Champion, Bear Bronson. How's it going today, man?
I'm good. Just a little hectic, but it's all good. We're living in really weird times, so.
Are you keeping safe during this COVID-19?
Yeah, somewhat. I feel like I'm kind of just doing like the same things every day. So I feel like I'm like getting into these ruts. We just started training again with Creative Pro. So with I think it was phase 4 yesterday, I think, in New York at least. But yeah, we just started training again, so that's new, and I've been rolling around a lot, getting back in good ring shape, and which hasn't been a problem at all. I feel like it's just been seamless. So other than that, just really with fitness and just trying to eat. I've been trying to lose weight, so I'm trying to just have some sort of goal with quarantine. And I want to actually come back from quarantine as a completely different wrestler and a completely different performer. So that's kind of what's been on my plate.
Now, you just mentioned that you go to Creative Pro Wrestling Academy, owned by Kurt Hawkins, and aka Brian Myers, and also Pat Buck is one of the trainers there. What's it like to be trained by two great performers?
Oh man, you know what? I was actually just thinking about this last night. I was just talking to Pat. Like, if I feel like it never fails to surprise me how much not even just information, but they're both fountains of knowledge of wrestling. Like, to where it gets to a point where, I've been doing this for 6 years now. I started my first day was July 1st, 2014. So yeah, I've been going like almost 6 years, I think, unless my math's wrong, but around there. And I feel like I'm learning something new from them every day. It's especially from Pat. Who is now, working for WWE as a producer. That's it's just even somebody like him who's been in the business for seemingly forever, most of his life. He's even just him telling me yesterday, like, he's even learning stuff that he never thought. Sometimes you think you know everything, and you're like, oh my god, I don't, and I've been doing this for how long? So like, just hearing him relaying all that information to me every time I get a hold of him, it's insanity to me. And then with Brian, who he got signed when he was 21, I think 20. So like, that's he spent most of his life contracted under WWE, and he's gotten to sit under the learning tree of you got to remember, he was an edgehead. Him and Zach were edgeheads. So when Edge was feuding with the Undertaker, you had Brian and Zach sitting under, learning how these guys putting together WrestleMania matches, and how he's seen it all. He's seen it all. So it's endless knowledge. Endless knowledge. I don't think any other wrestling school, and there's a lot of great ones out there that I have no problem naming. I love that they're great people. A lot of crappy ones too. Mostly crappy ones. But to match the credentials that we do, I don't think many come even close. So
Wow.
That's pretty much most of it.
Now, go ahead.
No, I didn't know what I was going
to say. Now, as I mentioned before we recorded,
sure.
When you were still in training, you're still in training now, but you graduated. Am I correct on that, from Creative Pro?
Yes. I believe after 2 years, I think.
Yeah. You were known as Mophead on one of the backyard wrestling YouTube channels, Grimm's Toy Show.
Right. Yeah.
What was it like to be Mophead, and now you're kind of morphed into your own person, Bear Bronson?
Well, I still get the Mophead thing all the time. That's how far Grimm's reach. It surprises me all the time how far his reach is, to where I'll be in other parts of the country and I will get recognized as Mophead still. And I haven't been on the show in years. So like, the story behind that, which is really funny, was Hawkins texted me one day, and he goes, "Hey, do you have any Party Cities near you?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? I have like 2 of them." And he goes, "Do you think?" He goes, in the Party Cities that I live by, there's no CM Punk costumes. Do you think you can get me a CM Punk costume? And I'll like pay you back or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll just go check it out. And they did. And he goes, hey, yeah, if you bring it to Cap right now to Create a Pro, maybe like I'll see if Grim can put you in one of his videos. And I said, Grim who? Who the hell is Grim? Like I have no idea what is. I think he said Grimm's Toy Show, and it sounded like mumbled to me. Like it sounded like gibberish. Like I didn't know what he said. I had no idea what that was. No knowledge of it whatsoever. So I kind of just said, whatever. I'll just bring the costume nearby, and then I brought it to him. I ended up meeting Grim, kind of figuring out, what exactly that was, and I didn't even know Brian was getting involved in this until like I saw it for myself in my own eyes. So I met Grim and everything like that, and they were filming a few episodes. So we kind of figured something out where I can be involved just to give me something to do. I think I was just bored. And I think that's when Grim just dropped. Because Grim usually, at that time at least, like most of the stuff he filmed was on the fly. There was not much planning. So like he didn't plan to call me Mophead, or he didn't plan to. He just said it, and we just tried not to laugh. So what the stuff that he would say, the nicknames he gave people, always stuck. I felt, especially that one. So that's kind of how that started. And then once he saw people tweeting Mophead, that's when he kept asking me like, "Hey, you want to be on a few more episodes?" And whenever you want. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I at that time I was very new and, excuse me, very just at that time especially just trying to do anything I could to just stay busy. So I was like, "Yeah, whenever you want." And then that's kind of how that happened. And I haven't heard from Dave actually in a while. I need to reach out to him because I haven't heard. I haven't even checked up or anything, but I hope he's doing well.
Now, on one of your social media platforms, last week you were at training, I saw, and you were watching old school wrestling. And I want to know, why is Diesel such a sex god?
Oh my god, I can't believe you saw that. That's crazy. Well, I mean, he is. I mean, look at him. You know what? Because I ran training that week because Brian Myers actually just had a baby, as his second child. So I've been kind of just doing whatever I can to help him. Like, he needs someone to fill in for training. And usually, and people ask me this all the time, even when he was in WWE, like people are like, "Oh, is Brian even around anymore?" I'm like, "Yeah, he runs the place. Like he's there every single week. Like that's not even in question." But when it comes to his kids, family, especially like family, should always come first, no matter what. So I've just been, whenever he needs me to fill in, I'll fill in. And so we were staying after class, and it was me and Steven Azure from the Even Stevens. And I think for some reason we had on WrestleMania 12, and it was Diesel versus Undertaker, like you said. And when he was coming out, I made him rewind it, and I pulled out my phone. And I was just like, look at this guy. I mean, this guy's 6 foot whatever, almost 7 feet tall, however tall he is, hair like Jon Snow. Like, I mean, just total, like, I think sex god is the perfect term to put it. And I was like, I can't even imagine during that time, like, I don't even know how old he was, but and then me and Steve kind of were making a joke about it, and I don't know, that's so funny you saw that though.
You're I think you're one of two wrestlers that I have on that social media app.
Okay.
And everyone else is people that I know. But
sure. I try to stay as active as I can on it, but I kind of forget sometimes.
Now, as I introduced you, you're actually the first ever and current 01 Northeast USA champion, and you competed in a tournament to win that belt. Talk to us about that. What was it like?
Well, fun fact about that is that was my first tournament ever. That's the first time I've ever wrestled more than once in a day. So I was actually kind of nervous for that because I don't know. I have good cardio. I kind of pride myself on that for being a, thicker, fatter guy. But like, to me, I just always looked at it as no excuse. I should just be at the level, no matter what shape I'm in. I should always have the cardiovascular abilities as a performer on TV. If that's somewhere I want to be, I have to have the same wind and I have to perform the same. I can't just say, oh well, I'm a different, I don't move as much. Like, to me, I don't like making excuses for myself. So I like to think I have good cardio, and then when I wrestle back, I was wrestling 3 times back to back, and with not much break time in between. But I was very lucky with the guys I was in there with. I got to wrestle Christian Casanova, which I hope is the first time of many, because his talent is just, for such a young guy. I think we're around the same age. Like, he is the dude. I think he has like zero gravity as like a perk when he wrestles or something, because he just is totally. He could go forever. So that was so much fun, but I felt like we could have done way more. Then I was in there with Ricky Reyes, who I actually met that day, and he trained most of the guys that had a hand in training me. Guys like, VSK, I had so many talented guys from the, old VPW school, like EJ Risk, Kevin Tibbs, all these guys. So I never really got to meet Ricky, and I felt like we just clicked. We had a really good, basic, solid match, and that was fun. And then to cap it off, I felt like by the third match, I wasn't even thinking about cardio. I was just like excited, and I was like, it was good, like I kind of shed that like weird, like bad juju, like bad, like whatever off.
Yep.
So and then I got to wrestle Alex Reynolds, who I feel like is probably probably one of the best in-ring performers in the world today. So underrated. I'm so happy him and Johnny are getting to show their talents on AEW now. I really hope they get to show more. I would like for them to have more of a platform, but that's I feel like, like the famous saying, cream rises to the top, So I have faith that will happen. But to be able to wrestle Alex in a main event like that was just so much fun. I really can't put it any other way. And every time I'm in the ring with Alex, I always come out a better wrestler than I went in. Every time. So it was I walked out of that tournament I felt like a different person. Like, it was just like, all right, that was a great experience. Like, I'm very happy. I'm very thankful I had to have that, and I'm very thankful to Anthony Green and Ava Everett for having the faith in me to give that, because it just feels good, But and it was a good day. It was really just a good day. It was good. I still have the title, but yeah.
If you want to go get it and show it?
Yeah, you know what? I'll be right back. It's literally right over here. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Where is it? Right here. Right here. Right there. Wow. There's your thumbnail. So.
Wait, hold it up. I'm gonna take a picture.
It's a beautiful, beautiful looking title. I'm such a mark for, like, even like the Japanese flag on it, even though I haven't wrestled in Japan. Like, I don't know, just a giant mark for that. So, but yeah.
Now, even a couple events before that at the same promotion, you faced Logan Black, who's been on the show a lot of times, one of my all-time favorites, and a Steel City chair match. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
Describe that and tell us more about that match.
So it was a Steel City chair match because apparently, and this is from Anthony Green, so he's just the master of like very weird miscellaneous facts. I guess Gardner, Massachusetts is like a, help me out here. It's like
the
chairs.
There's a giant chair in that city.
Yeah, and okay, and like, I don't know. He was telling me something about like how it was like the capital of chair making or something. So I was like, hey man, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. So I was like, but I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'd love to mix it up with Logan again, and um, it was so much fun. That was a match where I really got to let loose. That was the last match of a weekend of like 4 matches. I think, because I was like all over the place. It was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like Thursday beyond, Friday, whatever, Saturday, whatever, and then that. But I wasn't tired. Like I wasn't like dead. Like because I was like, oh, I'm excited for this because I get to let loose, and me and Logan get to do whatever we want, and I get to wrestle in street clothes and kind of do whatever the hell I want and kind of have fun with it. So I wasn't like dreading it or anything like that. So it was a lot of fun. It's always Logan Black's. He wrestled me when I like even like back when I didn't even know who the hell I was. I had no idea who I was. So, but I think he picked me to wrestle at one of the Warriors of Wrestling tapings because I guess maybe he saw something in me that I don't know, but he kind of like picked me out of a bunch and was like, I want to wrestle you. And I was like, all right, sure. I don't know why, but, and it was great. You got a little visitor behind you.
Huh? Oh, excuse me.
No, you're.
Go back over there. Dad, Warshawski, can you call him? He's in the shop.
That's so
I didn't
fun.
even notice that.
That's awesome.
Can you still hear me? Because my AirPod just died.
I can still hear you, yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, no, I can hear you perfectly. I think your mic is probably through the computer because it sounds the same.
Oh, no, I film on an iPad, man.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recently just got this set up actually because I just over quarantine started. Like I decided to go from console to PC. Mm-hmm. So I just literally took all the money that I like worked with like trying to like because like all right, I don't need new gear anymore. So like you know what I mean? So I put that towards a gaming computer and this is all new. So I never do this stuff. Nice. But yeah.
Now, last week I had the opportunity to sit down with one of my favorite wrestlers on the independent scene. He's made it to a major company, Impact Wrestling, Ethan Page.
Yeah, sure. I actually saw that. Yeah.
Nice. Did you like the interview?
I didn't get to watch too much of it. I just saw the clip that Ethan put up, or I think he put up a little clip of it or something. I saw it and I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, Julian's great. I love Ethan.
Now, I don't know if you remember, but I messaged you on Instagram like last year, and I contacted you and I asked you if your stomach was okay because last year on one of the vlogs you said that your stomach hurt and it came out of you for no reason. How's your stomach now? And like, is it okay? Are you fully recovered?
Of course, it's not. Oh man, you know what's funny is like Ethan doesn't warn you when he's doing that. So if you're an introvert, you're kind of in a bad spot because he'll kind of just come. If you're just sitting in the locker room and he just comes out of nowhere with a camera and shoves it in your face and you kind of just say whatever's at the top of your head. And if you're not good with on the fly, whatever. So that was literally off the top of my head. I was like, I don't know. This is a long trip to Canada. For me, it was like probably 10 hours or something. And I have really bad stomach problems. So like, I was like, that's all. And he was like, I think he was really surprised because he put a camera on my face and he was like, you talked about your stomach problems. But, I don't know. He's like, the funny thing about Ethan, I feel like he analyzes every word you say. Mm-hmm. So like when we were talking about like pay or whatever after the show, I accidentally said euros and he like I don't know why I said that, but he literally like it was almost like he was analyzing every word I said and he literally looked at me in the face and he was like, euros? And I was like, sorry, I didn't mean I was like, oh man, I don't know, he's just one of those guys. He's always on. Ethan's always on, So I don't know. But yeah, I miss Alpha One. I missed going to Canada in general for shows because I just had so much fun. Alpha One was the first I've ever done that to perform at least, and I miss it. I like opened up a door. Working there opened up a door for me to work other places like Smash, C4, stuff like that. So uh, I was always really thankful for that. Even though I botched a run in at Alpha One that still irks me to this day. We were supposed to run in on Ethan, and for some reason we couldn't hear him on the microphone. And Josh Alexander comes up to us in the locker room. He goes, he's been waiting out there for like 2 minutes, like 5 minutes waiting for you guys. I was like, oh shit. Like we didn't hear him. We didn't hear him on the microphone. I knew they were out there, but I don't know. I know Ethan's a promo guy, so I thought it was going to take a while. And it turns out apparently they were standing out there in dead silence for like 2 minutes. So, yeah, that was not one of my proudest moments, but especially with my trainer, Pat Buck there. He was also booked, so that was kind of embarrassing. But, I don't know. None of us are perfect, man.
Yeah. You make mistakes, you learn from them.
Yeah, 100%. I learned from that for sure.
Also get your hearing checked.
Yeah. Hey, to be fair, those microphones were shit. They were not good. Because I was listening to them talk, or I was listening to another promo, like another in-ring promo, and the mics kept cutting in and out, and I'm not going to take full blame for that. I don't think he's watching this, but if he was, I'm not taking full blame for that. So.
Now, another moment that I want to bring up, also from the vlog, I think it was a show. I think it was Alpha One, and it was like I forget who was booked, but I know you and your tagging partner Bear Boulder were on the show. Alley Cat was there, and she had like some kind of cookie, and you wanted some of that. Did you get any of her protein cookie that she had?
I have to look back. I remember that being a funny. I think that's the only other time I was on the vlog or the Ethan's web blog thing. But she probably did because we rode together to Canada, so she definitely did. That was a very weird time for both of us because like we were both going through some real personal stuff, but it was like her, me, and VSK were like all kind of there for each other that weekend. So it was pretty funny. So I'm sure I got some of that protein cookie.
Is that the
brownie? I think it was a brownie. Maybe it was a brownie. I don't know.
Is that the weekend where you went to Toys R Us and it was closed?
Yes, it was.
Because I saw someone's
heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, man. Anytime I go to Canada is a great time to go to a Toys R Us, and and you go there and it's closed, and I think that was the same time. That was the same booking, so that was awful. No, maybe that was a different time. I don't know. Right. Oh no, because that was the time MJF, I believe. No, that was a different time too. I was talking about the dog collar match with Ethan.
I'm making you think right now.
Yeah. Now I'm forgetting how many times I was actually there. I thought I was there like twice. Maybe I was there like 4 times. I forgot about. Oh man. I had fun matches up there.
I hate to bring Ethan up again, but it's like how I get my info on some of my people that I interview.
Sure. He talking about me?
What?
Did he talk about me in your figure?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
no. When he went to Creative Pro, Orange Cassidy was on that show, and Ethan faced VSK. Is it true that Kurt Hawkins buys the whole entire locker room Taco Bell before a show?
Yeah, because you know what? We were all hungry, and they had a really long trip from Canada to get to us. Like, they were almost, late, which happens all the time, because coming from there, you're hitting different parts of the country that have different traffic. Like, probably the worst part of the country with traffic besides, like, California. So, yeah, I think Brian he's a great guy, so he just was, I feel like he does that stuff, like, all the time. He loves showing up with fast food, I think. Like, not to make him look like that, but every time we're cleaning the school or something, I feel like he'll show up with he literally goes to if we clean Creative Pro, if we have a day where we clean the whole place, he'll literally show up with literally 200. He went to a drive-thru and said, "Can I have 200 chicken nuggets?" And really big, everything in bulk. So. And it never gets finished. So, I don't know.
Well, you guys ever need a hand in eating?
Yeah, you got you, man. Yeah, no problem. You know, I didn't have that Taco Bell though. I didn't have that Taco Bell because of my stomach problems. If I had Taco Bell before I wrestled, I probably would have to quit because if I defecated in the ring, that would be a bad thing. Which I think is my ultimate fear in wrestling is to crap myself in the ring. So
it's not like there hasn't been poop in that ring before. I mean, back when Grim was a rivalry, someone got their head pushed.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
The
Those are good times, man. I forgot about that. Like, for some reason, it made me think of the time where Grim brought all these buckets of figures, and we had Brian go off the top rope onto them. And I don't know. That made me think of that. It's good times.
I will say this is my favorite part of doing these interviews when I bring up something and someone forgets about that moment until I bring it up, and it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's just like it feels like such a long time ago. Like even though it really wasn't, maybe it was like 3 or 4 years ago. It feels. I think it's like 3 years ago, maybe, but it feels like an eternity ago. So every time I like run into Graham, I'm always like, oh man, cool, you know.
Now, your social media tags used to be Bear Bronson or something like that. Now it's the Dead Bear. What's up with the Dead Bear? Where'd that come into play?
So this is kind of a two-parter because I feel like my Twitter changes all the time because I have gotten banned on Twitter, which that was a stupid mistake. Where
Did you tell us?
yeah, so I was at Freelance Wrestling and me and Kobe Durst had a spot in the ring together where it got real messed up because some people like to divulge in some festivities before wrestling. I personally don't, but I don't have a problem if people do. I know how to keep myself in control. So if somebody, you know, likes to partake in stuff during, before they wrestle, I don't mind it. I don't.
Something like this, just not water.
More of the stuff that resembles grass. You know what I mean? Yeah. I personally don't. But when someone does, if they say, "Hey, you mind if I'm like, yeah, no problem. I don't really care." Because I don't really feel like it ever puts me in. If it was like hard drugs, I'd be like, no. But like, I don't really. I feel like I could. I can handle it. So. Maybe I shouldn't though. I probably shouldn't be because what happened was we had a spot where I was going to powerbomb him. I was going to go to powerbomb over the top rope. He was going to grab the rope and run me out of the ring. That didn't happen because he didn't grab the rope. And I'm a bigger guy, so I really have to throw myself over the top rope. If I don't, I'll get stuck and hung up like Vladimir Kozlov, sort of deal. So I did that. I threw myself over. He didn't grab the rope, and we both crashed to the floor, probably as hard as we possibly could. And that sucked. But I spoke to a close friend. I'll just name him MJF. And he thought it's because there was a video online that was pretty graphic. It was a fan shot right there in the alleyway of us both going over the top rope and crashing the concrete floor. Like it was extremely painful. But to make it not look like a botch, which it was 100%, to make it, I guess, make light of it, and we were trying to come up with ways to make it look like I did it on purpose. So what I said was, I think I said, I'll kill myself to kill you. As if I don't care about my well-being to go to, power bomb you on the concrete floor. And to me, that sounded cool. It got some likes. People were like, oh, that's sick, whatever. Twitter thought it was real. Twitter saw, I'll kill myself to kill you, which definitely wasn't smart to write at all. But you learn, I guess, from your mistakes. And Twitter banned me, permanently. So anytime, I've gone through so many accounts trying to I remember I think I did like Bear Bronson 1, the Bear Bronson. Everything was just getting banned. So I actually had somebody else, like, it was just a total shit show. So I don't know how I got Bear Bronson again. However, whatever the old one was. And I had that for a while. So that's my Twitter history. And I've had a lot of followers, a lot of grim followers. I had a lot of followers. They're all gone. That sucks. Um, and that's a little bit of my Twitter history. But the part two of this is mainly what you were asking for, is about the Dead Bear stuff. So that has a lot to do with quarantine and having a lot of time to think about where I want to be and what I want to do. So a little bit of personal life comes into it as well. Last year, I usually say to whoever I say it to, the very few people I say it to, 2019 was probably the best year of my career as far as places I've worked. That was where we debuted for Beyond Wrestling, and that just opened the doors to us pretty much all over the country. But what most people don't know is at the same time, it was probably the worst year of my life personally. And most people don't know that because they only see the good that I'm putting on social media. They only see, oh, look, he's getting booked places. Cool. That's like he must be doing great. But really, like there was some of my like high profile matches that I was having while my personal life was like spiraling out of control. And I feel, I got to a certain point of where I want to be, and then I started even thinking about it before COVID and before quarantine. Like I felt like I didn't want to be complacent. I feel like I want to grow as a performer, and I want it to be more relatable to what I've gone through personally and what I've I want to bring my life experiences into it and have a little bit more freedom and kind of just do what I want. Because I feel like my learning you're learning every day. I'm never going to stop learning. But last year, I really gained a lot of knowledge all in one short time frame, relatively short time frame, where I feel like now I can take that and expand. Because I just, as far as wrestling goes, I want to be the best that I possibly can be. And I want that, not even in ring. Like, I mean that as far as promos. I feel like as far as character, as far as all these things, So I feel like if I can make that as real as I possibly can, it would be more authentic. It would come off more authentic and maybe even relatable. So, that's kind of, I'm trying to, my main goal was to come out of quarantine a completely different performer. Like, I want people to see me and go, what the hell is that? Like, that is not the Bear Bronson that we saw before at all. So I'm constantly looking for, I'm like craving change, like craving it. And I'm also going back to school, I decided. So that I have a lot on my plate, but I feel like it's all positive and it's all good for good expansion. So that's kind of where that's at. Yeah, and that's probably the most I can say on it. With like that's the it's hard to plan ahead when we don't have events and stuff. Even though I'm craving it, I'm craving, wrestling. I want to get back in the ring. I'm craving it. Like I can't. Like I go to any training session I can, but that doesn't fill the hole that I'm sure every wrestler is going through right now. To the point where now I'm even considering death matches. I've always been a death match fan, always. But now I'm even considering it because I'm like, all right, these are the only shows that are on, and they look like a lot of fun. So I what's up?
Except for like the blood and like the aftermath of it sucks from what I've seen, but it's fun.
Yeah, I you know what I feel like I'm even just craving to have fun with wrestling again. So that's kind of where my head's at, and I'm looking forward to really doing things differently. Especially just because with wrestling, I feel like I view it in a whole new, a whole new light. I look at it in a whole different perspective now. So there's a lot of things that I'm really, really excited for. When wrestling finally comes back, if ever, you know.
Yep.
So that's kind of where my head's at with that. I hope that was enough.
It's fine. You
Yeah.
definitely the first people on this show to keep talking. I mean,
Sure.
every like other person that's been on here, it's kind of like a quick answer, but keep going. Like I'm having fun with this.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I just. It's just, you know what? Like I'm sure everybody's going through this. Like with quarantine, you know, you don't. You're kind of doing the same thing every day, and you're kind of doing, you know, and you're. If you're busy, it's usually like job busy or whatever. But it's not like so. It's doing things like this, very refreshing. Uh, you know, so it's good.
What have you been doing to stay in shape? Like for working out wise of this quarantine.
So I've been dieting, which sucks. Hardcore
Yeah.
dieting absolutely sucks. But it's, you know, they say good bodies are made in the kitchen mostly. So
Well, I've been in 24/7.
dude, I'm this dude. I've my whole life, man. I'm an eater. I love to eat. Like I love to eat everything. So I'm in the same boat. And dieting, man, I absolutely dread it. I hate it. I think it sucks. But I'm also very dedicated, so I never cheat off of it. I never, you know. So it's just I kind of just bite the bullet and uh just take it for what it is. I don't like to make excuses, so I kind of just do it. But it sucks, and I'm not afraid to say it sucks. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't suck. But I do enjoy lifting, and I do like my younger brother is very big with he's in incredible shape. Lifts like religiously. So we actually turned my garage into like a home gym. Where now like I don't even want to go back to the gym. Like I might go cancel when the gym's open. I think I'll cancel my membership, to be honest. We made a nice home gym where we have everything we need. Uh, so you know it was kind of nice to invest in that, and I feel like now we'll be more, you know, especially everything was really expensive because the prices have gone way up. But
I know how you feel.
Uh, yeah, with everything, to be honest. But I felt like it was a good investment because now I'm serious. I think I'm going to cancel my gym membership. I don't think I need it because I run outside anyway. So I've always liked to. I don't like to run on treadmills ever. So I like to run around my neighborhood through my. I live right next to a park. So I love to run I love to run through there and stuff. And then now we have all the weights we need, and he's dragging my ass out of the house every day to lift. So he's keeping me in check, I guess. But that's kind of as far as fitness and stuff like that. Like trying to. So far, I'm down. I think this week I'm down 20 pounds. Not this whole week. I mean, like over the not in 1 week. That would be great. But over the course, I think I've been doing this for. God, maybe 2 months, I think. Maybe a month or 2 months. So, I don't know. I guess something's right. So we'll see where that goes, you know.
Would you mind telling us? I know how the home gym experience is. I'm kind of on the same boat. If I want to cancel it, I mean, I got a bench, I got free weights, I got dumbbells, I got adjustable plates, and I got a elliptical. So I pretty much
That's
got
awesome.
what a gym needs. So,
Yeah.
can you tell us more about what you have in your home gym? Because I saw the video last week, and I'm like, damn, that's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh, you saw the video. Okay. Yeah, the one with my brother in the pool.
Yeah.
You saw that? Yeah. So we actually filmed that just to be. Me and my brothers are weirdos, but yeah, we keep adding little additions that just make it better. So, originally it just started out with just the bench, and me and my brother would deadlift the bar to give to the person benching. Then we reached out to an old personal trainer, close friend of ours, and he hooked us up with a rack. So that kind of saved us with, okay, now we can bench without deadlifting the bar. We can squat. We can do everything we need as far as compound lifts. Then we started adding more plates to that over slow time because those plates are probably the most expensive thing you can buy right now.
Yeah.
The 45s and 35 plates. Then we just added more dumbbells into the mix, and then we got hooked up with through somebody my brothers know, not through somebody I know, with a kind of this multi cable machine that's like there's a bunch of stuff on it. There's like lat pull downs, and there's a leg thing connected, so we can add stuff to our leg workouts. When I do legs once a year, and stuff, different arm stuff, and it kind of just added on a lot, and we got yoga mats, so we now do abs, even though I can't see them. I don't want to, even though I don't want to neglect them. So, yeah, but it's good. It's working out real well. I was joking about I wish I did legs once a year. I was joking about that. My brother makes me do them every single week, sometimes twice a week, because he's big on not neglecting them. So that's where I'm at. But
I mean, that's great to hear. I mean, I hate hearing the part about how weights are so expensive because people are kind of like in Grimm's toy world, the scammers or the I forgot what they're called, but when they jack up the price.
oh sure,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big thing.
Mhm.
It
It's like
sucks.
I hear every time I'm like on like every like uh let go offer up thing, and it's like, oh, I'll charge you $2 a pound. This isn't like, but just give me, if you want to double it, that's
Dude,
fine. But
packaging meat, like what?
yeah, exactly.
you know?
Why would I don't want to pay $50 for a 25 plate, a single one to be exact. Like,
Yeah, a single one. Yeah, like exactly. Yeah, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know, but it's that now is like the worst time more than ever to get any of that stuff. So it sucks. But I try to keep in my head like, okay, if I do the better I make this gym, the more likely I am to cancel a membership, which is however much a month. I forgot what retro is, but that's where I worked out. So hopefully it'll pay itself back. I don't know. We'll see.
I
But
mean, you have money, so and that can go
exactly, yeah.
into more home gym equipment, more knowledge in wrestling, more traveling. I guess that's one thing.
Yeah,
Throwing
exactly.
out some ideas.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Whenever I get back to that, whenever we get back to finally doing that stuff, but hopefully it pays itself back in the long run, and uh, you know, yeah. So, and other than that, to be honest, like for work, I've always worked with my parents, with my mom's business. My mom is a nutritionist, and I usually work in her business of like packaging meal prep foods and stuff like that. Uh, but I've taken on. So my older brother, his name's John. I'll plug him. He's on Instagram. He's Buttershop Films, and he's on Instagram and I think Twitter. But he works in the film and movie industry, or he did before COVID. So coming home, he kind of decided we on Long Island we have an abundance of Long Island artists like rappers, musicians, all these people. So we kind of sat down and we were like, maybe we can figure out our way to get into the music video world. And it was kind of like a funny joking idea, and then it became serious, and we've kind of broken into that little world. Like I'll help him out however he needs, and now we schedule music video shoots. And yeah, if you want to check out Buttershot Films, I'll usually tag them every now and then, especially in my stories. Uh, we they're it's pretty legit. Like, and it's pretty cool. It's something else to put our head towards. So that's kind of been taking up a lot of time as well.
Just a few more questions.
Sure, no, I'm good. Whatever.
One, you just mentioned your music video stuff. I don't know if you remember, but someone contacted me, on one of your social media platforms,
Okay.
and I said, "Who's the Logan Paul lookalike?" And it was like a guy in a car with like money, the stat. And he never responded, and I'm like, "Oh, he's mad at me for saying that." But it was like, it looked like Logan Paul.
Oh no, never think that I'm mad at you. I am the worst, and people get on my ass for this. Like my close friends, my family, they're like, Joe, why don't you answer your phone? Like, why? And I just am the worst. I am like the absolute worst. People think I'm mad at them all the time. People think People think I'm dodging them. I am the worst. I don't know why. I don't know. I've also, especially since COVID, I've been trying to so my workouts, I actually started turning off my phone because I noticed when I used to work out at the gym, in between sets, I'd be on my phone for too long without even noticing. And I feel like we live in an age too where people live on their phones because it's everything, it's everything at the palm of our hands. But I also feel like you're missing the war, you know what I mean? Like the life of, like, that's not how people lived pre cell phones. So I'm trying to be a little better with that. Because I did have a problem with that for a while, I think. Where it's like glued to my phone like 24/7, But yeah, that happens a lot. So don't ever think that I'm mad at you or anything like that.
I was like, it's a joke. I was meaning it as a joke. I'm gonna see the unadded button by him now.
No, I promise that won't happen. I promise. So his name is Ao Bib. He's somebody that I went to. That's his rapper name. His real name's Chris, and that's somebody that I went to high school with, and I knew was making his way in in music and on SoundCloud and stuff. And I think he's really good. I always thought he was really good. I always would joke about him because he was really over the top. Mm-hmm. Always, like, I think he has the most active Instagram story I've ever seen anybody have out of anybody in the world. So if you follow him, it's a lot of really funny content. But yeah, he's from my neighborhood, and I was like, maybe we can reach out to him, and he can kind of be our, foot in the door to this music world. And he was like, yeah, and we hooked up right away, and we caught up and everything, and we were just kind of like, maybe we can make something out of this. And he introduced us to a lot of people, and that he was kind of our foot in the door. So we've been really tight knit with him lately. He right now he still has the Logan Paul hair, or Jake Paul, whoever. I think it's Logan Paul. But yeah, that's he goes by the name Ao Bib.
Now, final question. I noticed that you haven't really had tattoos when you first started out in wrestling. And if no one else can notice this, I don't know why, but on your arm right there, you got a sleeve. Can you tell us what that tattoo means and what is in that tattoo?
So, what's funny is I never really had interest in doing anything to my body, and I feel like wrestling has like made me crave, like I was saying, crave change. So like wrestling was the first time in my life I ever had long hair. I only had my whole life. I had your hair. I had like the same thing. That's how my hair looks when it's short. And that's what I had my whole life growing up in school, high school, college, early college, before wrestling. And one day I was in Kurt Hawkins' office, and he was like, "What do you think about growing out your hair?" And I was like, "I don't even know if I can grow out my hair. I think it grows out like an afro, actually." And he was like, "Well, just give it a try. Worst thing you can do is shave it off, but it might help with being comfortable in the ring. It might help with your selling, like if you get punched and your hair whips and stuff like that." And I was like, all right, like maybe it won't make me look so, I don't know, like, because I felt like when I had short hair, I just looked very normal. I was clean shaven. My hair was always two on top, one on the sides, and I maybe just, I don't know. I was kind of just like, let me explore what I want to be, I guess, and that was kind of my first, thing. And last year, with the stuff I was going through personally, uh, I felt like, I don't know. Sometimes when you go through stuff in life, you kind of just want to do something out of the blue. So that's where I got at first. From here down to right here at this point, I only had this, and you might have seen that in a lot of my like Beyond Wrestling matches and stuff like that. And this is a bear. It's a lot of mountains and fields and stuff like that, and that's what I got. And kind of, I was like, I really like this. And as time went on, I found an artist on Long Island that I really enjoy, and I feel like we have the same style. He's you can find him on Instagram at, I think it's Biker Witch Tattooer. So it's Biker Witch, but it's like VV. So it's Biker Witch, but it's with two V's instead of a W. Tattooer, Vamachara tattooing and stuff like that. I'm always tagging him, so you can find him on there. But yeah, I feel like we just shared the same style, like the dark forest style that like he was, because you should always, if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, or if anybody watching is thinking about getting a tattoo, you should really do your research. You shouldn't just jump to the first person that you find. You should know what you want, and whatever you want on you, you should find the artist best suited for that. So I did. I was looking through some different personal friends, and I had one that I found. So I had that. And then I decided, well, I love it. I want to get more. Like, I'm kind of becoming addicted to this. So I got from the next session, I got from here down, which I'll try to get it in frame. That is another bear, because I guess that's my spirit animal, I guess. And this is kind of just more trees and stuff with like a skull, and another negative. It's like a negative effect of a bear. There we go. That's just another one. By the way, the bear thing. Oh no, this will just make me look like a psycho. But my finger tats, I got. This says bear. It's backwards because it's on Skype, but that says bear, and that's 1113, which is my birthday. That kind of, I was just feeling crazy, and I just wanted to do something different, and I kind of just, I don't know, wanted something different. So the bear thing, though, the reason it's always been my spirit animal, I guess, is because my mom's always called me bear since I was a little kid. She rarely, if you ever spent a day in my house, you'd notice my mom rarely ever calls me Joe. I don't think she hasn't called me Joe in years, I believe. Even like if I'm in trouble, if I was in trouble as a kid, like whatever, it was always bear. It was never Joe. Even like serious, always in the most serious of situations, always bear, never Joe. And then that kind of went on to like the rest of my family, and now that's what they've always called me, never Joe. So that was from when I was a little kid. But so that's kind of where that comes from, and that it's always meant something to me. So I plan on now with COVID and everything. Tattooing is very, they're slowly opening up. So and I actually just got this one a few weeks ago. Have you ever seen The Crow?
Sting?
Yeah, sure, but like the movie that he ripped off.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I just got this a few weeks ago from The Apprentice, my tattooer's apprentice, but it's a crow, and it says it can't rain all the time. And I think that's just because I actually personally love the rain. Is my favorite weather. Always. I despise I despise when it's sunny out. I like the rain. It just makes me feel comfortable. It always has. That probably sounds so weird, but
kind of, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's very unlikely. It's very like, why would you hate it? Even if I'm driving, anything, I just love the rain. Like when it's storming rain, like I mean, like thunderstorms. Like I just am so. I love that like in-house cozy feeling. But yeah, so like tattooing's like it's opening very slowly. So my main tattoo artist that did all this work, he's booked up until like August, September because of how everything was pushed back with tattooers closing. So I had his apprentice do this. I absolutely love it. But for him to extend this work, the next one I'm going to get is across the chest right here. And that's the next thing. So, and people, like, I had like close friends ask me, they're like, well, do you want to get like covered? Like, I was like, I don't know. I haven't planned it out. Like, I guess I'll just go until I feel like I should stop. But I don't know. I kind of want more. So it's kind of something that just came out of nowhere. And I really, really like them. And it's kind of the first time I've ever been comfortable, like, in my own skin. So, like, it's the first time I ever, like, really look in a mirror and be like, oh, man, I look cool. Like, I've never felt that way about myself before. So, I don't know. Like, it's kind of cool. So I'll just keep going until I'm like, yeah, maybe I should stop. And, we'll see what happens from there. But that's kind of my tattoo story. It just started 6 months ago, I think. So,
is there anything that you would like to ask me before we reach the time limit?
Sure. I've never got asked this, but I like it though. How long have you been a fan for?
Of wrestling?
Yes.
Okay. 2011. It was like January, the end of January, the day before the Royal Rumble in Boston. So next year will be a full 10 years of being a fan. I went for about 5 years, thinking that WWE just found random people on the street, hired them, trained them, and then they just became wrestlers. Until I found out about the independents in 2017.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, but yeah, almost 10 years I've been a fan.
Nice. So was it the Royal Rumble itself that drew you in? Oh, okay, so it was the product that drew you in, not like anybody in specific.
Oh, well, no, actually, let me clarify that. I went to a house show. It was the day before the Royal Rumble. It was like, how they do the road to WrestleMania or the before. It was one of that, and it was the final stop in my hometown. And it was, all I know is there was a giant square with ropes, and like people jumped off them. So I thought it was like a giant trampoline with ropes on it.
Sure.
And it was John Cena. He came out as like the main event person, and everyone cheered him. Some people booed him, and it was just like, I don't know what stuck out, but I'm like, man, that guy's really cool. And he's from
he's from Boston. Oh, he's from
and he went to Springfield College, which is my hometown in Massachusetts.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I was like, that's pretty cool. So, and he kind of just became my favorite. I got a follow on Twitter from him like 2 months ago. So.
Oh man, that's dope.
He just doesn't
awesome.
my DMs, but.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, John Cena, man. Like growing up, so like I've been a fan since. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 16.
You're 16. Wow, dude, you look older. Okay, yeah. So I'm all right. So I'm turning 25 in November, and I've been a fan. I want to say since like my earliest memories, I think. So like, but there was a period where I feel like I started back again. Like you kind of like I feel like even everyone my age or even older, like probably fell a little bit out of love with wrestling in like the late 2000s. But yeah, like you said, 2011, I feel like picked up again. And that's funny. That's before the CM Punk pipe bomb, which I'm sure So like you caught it right at the right time.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But that's crazy. So what else do I want to ask you? Let me see. Who's your favorite now?
All right. So in WWE, let's see. I don't really have a favorite. I mean, Karrion Kross in NXT, he's pretty good.
Yeah, intensity. Yeah.
Let's see who else. AJ Styles is on the list. Randy Orton, I like what he's doing. He's kind of like he comes out of nowhere, like RKO out of nowhere. but
Yeah.
he just has the randomest feuds ever. So
Yeah.
he's my current favorite, one of them. And independents, let's see. I don't know if you're familiar with. No, actually you are. Logan Black. He's my favorite like singles wrestler. And then tag team.
That's awesome.
Main State Posse. They're my favorite.
Main State Posse, yeah, dude, we've had really good times with those guys. Good matches and long trips, long trips. Like really, really, I love those guys to death, man. They're really good-hearted people, like real genuine people, not like that fake, not like fake, being fake to your face or anything like that. Like really good, genuine guys. Like I always love to be around. So those are good. Those are good favorites to have. Definitely for sure.
Is there anything that you would like to promote before we wrap this up?
Well, I can promote my Instagram. So my Instagram and my Twitter are both now underscore. I don't know what my Instagram is. My Twitter is at underscore the Dead Bear, I believe. And Instagram as well is the Dead Bear. And as time goes on, you'll see what that means and what I have plans for as far as that. And yeah, and if you just, I have a ton of stuff on YouTube under just whoever uploads it. But there's like, if you ever want to check out my matches and stuff like that, old and new, I'm if you just type in Bear Bronson on Twitter or Bear Country, you'll find a lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff on there. So, or stuff that I think's good, probably sucks, but you can find a lot of stuff on there. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, man. This was a lot of fun. It was again, it's very refreshing to talk about wrestling with somebody out of, you know, I don't normally do this unless it's with friends in the business, and then it's like, you can't, it's different. But I appreciate it. I'd love to do this again.
Definitely. Well, I'll set up around 2 when it's time. I try
Sure.
to give 6 months or at least maybe 3. But definitely when wrestling comes back, I'll definitely have you as on.
Sure.
Unless it doesn't come back the rest of the year.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for your time today, Bear Bronson. I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow him on his social medias. I don't really promote mine sometimes, but yeah. I'll see you in the next interview. Thanks for watching, everyone.